Hey folks, I'm talking to you today about Caesar's Empire by Holy Grail Games.
You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Welcome to Caesar's Empire, published in 2022 by Holy Grail Games, designed by Alexander Bonvala and Joel Drans. It's a network route building area control game is how I would describe it. It's all about building roads, discover new cities, and then collecting treasures for the glory of Rome. Let's look at it on the table. In Caesar's Empire, you'll be building roads to connect Rome to new cities across the board. Each time you build a road, you're going to score points for every new city that you reach. They're also going to provide you city tokens and treasure tokens that are going to be worth points at the end of the game. The game ends when Rome is connected to every city on the board, and after you adding the value of your city tokens and your treasure tokens to the points you scored during the game, the player with the most points is going to be the winner. Each city has a city tile, and each city tile is going to get a randomly placed treasure token. Sometimes it can be a resource of some type, or it can be a gold token. Your goal is going to be to place roads so that you get points for placing roads and collecting the tokens. As you collect cities and gain the tokens that come with them, you're going to be getting points for the largest city in the region that you collect, and you're going to be able to place the treasure tokens on your treasure board. As you collect new tokens, you're going to place them in the same column of any of the same resources if you've already collected it. Or if it's a new resource that you haven't collected yet, you're going to place it in the new row. You're going to get points at the end of the game based on not only how many of the same type that you've collected, but also for how many different types of treasures you collected. You're also going to get points for your city tokens that you collect equal to the highest number of that region. So for example, in the Egyptian region, if I've collected both of these cities, I would only score the 3 point, which is the highest number in that region that I've collected. Your turn consists of playing roads onto the board, as many as needed to reach and connect to a new city. Every road you place has to somehow connect back to Rome. So every road you build has to connect to Rome. So as you place a road, it needs to connect to Rome. You're then going to take the city and the treasure token that goes with it for the city you just acquired. You're going to get to flip that city token, place it next to your dashboard, and you'll then place the treasure token in its appropriate spot on your dashboard. The next player can choose to place either off of the road you've already constructed or start a new road. After placing roads, you're going to get points for the roads you placed equal to the number of your colored roads that connect back to Rome. So in this instant, the blue player would score 1 point and the red player would score 1 point for the blue player's placement of this road. The blue player would acquire this city and the treasure that goes along with it, but because the blue player used the red player's road, the blue player and the red player are both going to score victory points for the placement of that road. Some roads have 2 stretches, so you'll need to place 2 road markers in order to claim that road. Although you still get to get the benefit of the city and the treasure that goes along with it, and you're going to score points for each of your roads that lead back to Rome from that route, meaning the red player is going to get 3 points, the blue player is going to get 1. At the end of the game, there is a bonus for the player who used the least amount of roads throughout the whole game. So there is a benefit to not using too many more roads than you need to use, because if you have more roads left in your supply at the end of the game, you're going to get a bonus 10 points. Collecting a gold as treasure is different than collecting any other treasure. What's different about it is when you collect gold as your treasure, so for example, this city here collecting the gold there, you're going to place this on your board in its own separate row, and you get to double the bonuses for the road that you've built to Rome. But that also means your opponents that are attached to that road will also double their bonuses. Players are going to continue to take turns placing roads, capturing new cities, or acquiring new city tokens, acquiring new resource tokens, placing them on the board, and scoring points based on the number of roads it takes to get back to that route. If ever there are two roads that lead back to Rome after you've placed your road, so for example here, the red player is going to place, it's going to capture this city, get the wood token that goes along with it, then they count back to see which road is the shortest road. That's the road you have to use to get back to Rome. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 using this road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 using the road that has theirs. The trouble here is the player has to pick the shortest distance. So he's going to capture 1 point, 2 points for building that road, but he's going to give the opponent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for using that road. So she's going to gain 6 points when he captured that city, and he only gained 2 points from scoring that road. Once all locations have been captured, the players will then do end scoring. End scoring is going to start off based on number one, where you are on the scoring track based on the points you scored while building roads. Secondly, you're going to score your cities. You're only going to score the highest number of that category that you captured, of that location area. So for these brown locations, I have 3 of them, but I'm only going to be able to score the 5. On the orange, I have 2 of them. I'm only going to be able to score the 5. For the blue player has 2 orange, so they're going to score the highest number, which is a 4. They only have 1 blue. They're going to score that 3. And then for the brown regions, they're going to score 1, which is the 4. After you've scored your city, you then score your treasures, and you can score treasures based on the amount of equal types of treasures. You're going to score points based on how many of the same you have. For the red player, you're going to see that the red player only has 1 of each, so they're scoring 0 points for having the same type of treasure. The blue player has 2 of the wheat, so they're going to score 2 points for those wheat. Then you score the diversity of treasures that you have using the row. And going across the row, you'll see a scoring number beneath each of the tokens. So you can see that the red player has reached 3 different types of treasures, and they have 5 victory points for doing that, while the blue player has 4 different types of treasures. They're going to score 9 victory points for that. And then you're going to score for your gold coins that you've collected. So underneath each gold coin is how many victory points you're going to get in total. The red player reached 4 points for gold coins, while the blue player has not reached any points for gold coins. And then finally, you're going to give points to the player who has the most roads left in their supply. So anything left in their supply, whoever has the most of those is going to score a bonus of 10 points. So that's going to help for the efficiency of the game. If players are tied, all tied players are going to receive 10 points. And whoever has the most points at the end of that game is the winner of Caesar's Empire. So that's Caesar's Empire. I played this with a buddy of mine, Rob. I played this with my young kids. I will tell you the rule set is very easy. It's simple to learn. It's quick to play, but it has kind of that token or that point salad kind of feeling because there's so many different places you can get points from. You can get points from what cities you go to. You get points from which treasures you choose. You get points from building long roads. You can double those points when you build a road by making sure you're grabbing a gold coin at the same time. So there's a lot of decision points in the game that really make up the points that you score. So I feel that although I can teach this easily to new gamers, teach this to kids, I feel that there's enough depth in this that you're going to enjoy the decision points along with them. So while they're playing a nice, light, simple game in that Roman theme, and you're loving that theme, you're also getting to enjoy the tactical part of deciding where am I going to build this road so that I get the most points. I'm going to recommend this game for new gamers, gamers who enjoy historically themed games, but find it difficult to get newer players involved into more complex games. So this is like a entry-level game for historically based themed games. So from Carlos with the Beans and Dice, Caesar's Empire, I recommend it.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.